So if you're not familiar with Mercedes electric nomenclature, EQ is their electric brand. S, E, and those models corresponds with their old style gas-powered cars. So this is the EQS, and they actually make two EQSs. They make a sedan and the crossover we have here. And this is the one that I really like, because when you climb inside of this, it is really comfortable, really luxurious, and just a delightful place to travel. On the outside, a lot of the electric car companies have struggled with how do you take your gasoline cars, modernize them, and make them appropriate for the electric era. I think Mercedes has done a better job than some of its competitors. Although, the car's not terribly distinctive, but I think it looks nice, it's at least elegant, and certainly know it's an electric car. I like the grille, it used to be the grille. I like the cute, got these little Mercedes stars kind of all in here. I think they look really cool. The big star. Your LED headlamps, the twin hood bulges that really tie the car back to the 300 SL gull wing back in the 1950s. But the rest of it, again, it's just kind of a big blob of a crossover. But it's okay. It's what it needs to be. It's elegant, it's streamlined, it's very aerodynamic. And it just really signifies that this is a different kind of Mercedes for a different era. So I just want to start in the back real quick, because I think a lot of owners will probably be spending a lot of time back here, especially if you live in a city and you've got a driver. And it's a very convenient, very comfortable way of getting from your large house or condo down to your plane. But there's plenty of legroom in here, plenty of space. And again, it really is an S-Class SUV. I know that you expect in that. Stretch right out. Nice armrests, cup holders in here as well. You got dual zone automatic climate control for the back. There's 4 zones total, so you can adjust this however you want it. It has a full panoramic roof. I've got the cover on right now, but you can let all the sunshine in, and it's just beautiful. I really, you'll see this in the front too. I love the wood. This is all real wood and aluminum, kind of like the deck of a ship, and I think it's really beautiful. Also stitched leather here too. But they've just done a really nice job. So I had my daughter back here. My uncle got in the back as we were driving around going to dinner, and everybody's really comfortable for sure. I'm old enough to remember the days when Mercedes had manual controls and big analog gauges with the white and orange lettering on them. But I really like what they've done here. They've finally found a way to make the control systems easy to use, intuitive. I can name a couple of other German automakers that are not nearly as easy to use as this. So everything's kind of on the big touch screen here. Satellite radio, you touch it, it expands, you use it, you touch again, it goes back down. You swipe it off to the corner, it disappears. Your devices connect here. You got Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I also have wireless charging down here, so you can just kind of put your phone down in the little garage and close it up. It's all very convenient. Dual zone automatic climate control up here. Like I said, 2 zones here, 2 in the back, 4 total. You press EQ, and it'll help you find charging stations, parking spaces. It'll tell you how much energy you're using, pretty much everything you need to drive the vehicle. So I really like how that works. Again, just pretty simple to use. Navigation, you click in there, comes up, type it in, done. I like the flat screen instrument cluster as well. It's got the safety systems on here. This one has adaptive cruise with lane centering steering, so you can set it. You have to keep your hands on the wheel. It's not a full hands-off system on this vehicle yet, but it pretty much drives itself outside. You just say here, you can click the turn signal, it moves itself over, recenter itself automatically. I like that. It has the Burmester audio system in it. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Again, the panoramic sunroof, I think it's really nice. The nice pillowed headrests. Nice deep cubbies here with everything in it. USBs inside here too. So all that just works out really well, and just really, really like it. But I also just like the classic luxury touches. You think about what would a 21st century Mercedes EV be like. I think this is pretty close to it. I love the wood here. Again, it's all wood. It's walnut. You got the aluminum pieces between them. It's really classy, real elegant. I like the stitched dash coverings. The ambient lighting, you can change the ambient lighting to well over 100 colors. And you have the little details too. If you look really close, it's kind of this copper color here in the air vents that are on the top. The turbine, kind of the turbine design there on the vents. Just real pretty. Seats, super comfortable. Heated and ventilated in the front. You got massagers. So again, we took a nice long interstate drive. I drove. My husband sat here, took a long nap, and just enjoyed them. And it worked out really well. Keeping everybody safe. Pretty much the full suite of crash avoidance systems. Like I said, it's got adaptive cruise with the radar system on it, so it'll slow it down on the highway. Lane centering steering. You've also got blind spot warning, lane keep assist, or cross path detection. Everything to keep you safe out on the road. To get the most out of the driving experience and to maximize range, you're going to use the dynamic control, and this is this button right here. So you can put it in sport mode, and that'll make the throttle more sensitive. It stiffens up the air suspension, and it makes the vehicle, handle very well and just drive very nice. So if you want to go bomb the on ramps or go find a nice curvy 2-lane road, you can do that. Most of our drive, I left it in comfort mode. That loosened up the suspension a little bit, just really just wafted down the highway, just felt very comfortable. But to get the maximum range, you're going to put it in eco mode, and you are really going to push the throttle hard, accelerator hard, to get it to do anything, honestly. But what that's really designed for is you get on the highway, run 70 miles per hour down the interstate, and it just really optimizes your range and your energy usage. So that's very cool. You've also got a dial here in the instrument cluster. It tells you how much of your battery capacity you're using, whether you're recuperating energy through the regenerative braking or just letting it decelerate. So there's a lot of things here to kind of help you manage that range. So again, I put it in eco mode. Watch this. Try to keep it, like under 10% when I could, unless I was just accelerating on. Put it in drive. You might not be able to hear, but you can hear some noises. It makes like a starship noise outside. That's so people can actually hear it when you're driving by because it's silent. And just easy as that, we just drive right away. This has 4-wheel steering, so the back wheels turn 10 degrees, and it really handles like a compact car. So it's just very easy to park it, very easy to maneuver it. Back right out the driveway, very easy. If you want to stomp on the accelerator, you can do 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds, and it's quick. If you're out in the interstate and you're running legal speeds and you want to run something well above legal speeds, not a problem at all. But again, if you're really working on maximizing range, and this has 305 miles range if you drive it responsibly. And on the interstate on our trip, we actually saw it overperforming what the range indicator said it would do. So we were getting more than 305 miles. Again, just driving gently and trying to hyper them out just a little bit, knowing we had a long drive. Coming back, I knew I was safe, so put it in sport mode and enjoyed the drive home, and that was also very enjoyable. Recharging it, it's not, again, you got a big battery pack, so it's going to take a little time. If you do it on a fast charger, DC fast charger, you can go from 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes. So that's not too bad. If you can find a charger and stop at a truck stop rest area, that's not bad. Doing it at home on my charger, 240 volt, you're looking at about 12.5 hours to fully recharge the battery pack. So that's another thing that really kind of goes to your mind. I was thinking about driving to my grandmother's house. I knew she'd just have a 110 volt plug in her garage, so I knew it was going to be days if that had to happen. Also, small town, this is, a thing everybody can be concerned about. There was one charger that was of any speed, and it was at the Ford dealership. So again, there were no fast chargers in town. So if I ran out of power, it was going to be sitting at a charger for about half a day trying to get the car recharged to get back home. But again, with 305 miles range, you really can get this car on the highway. You can drive it. I live in Indianapolis. There's really nowhere in the state that's out of range. I can go to the state parks. I can stay in one of the inns. They all have chargers. So as long as I can call ahead and make sure I've got a place to charge the car, I know I've got a nice, easy overnight to get the car fully recharged and get it back home. But the other thing I think just came to mind just on the road with us so much is this has really just made a nice Mercedes. It's a nice electric car, but it's also a nice Mercedes. It just feels heavy. The suspension just feels just right. Feels kind of old school, where just kind of this iron sponge kind of feel to the vehicle. And I just have really enjoyed driving. Plenty of power, super smooth, super quiet, and just been a delight. So as you might imagine, this is a Mercedes S-Class, and it's going to come with Mercedes S-Class prices. The EQS starts at $104,400. This one, as it's equipped, right at $114,000. So again, not a cheap car, but you probably expected that with Mercedes S-Class. And if that's in your price range, I think you'll really enjoy it. Next week, we'll have another fun car. Until then, storm forward.